Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Linda. I'm Tommy Douglas. I'll be interviewing you today.
Okay.
I'm glad to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Please have a seat. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. All right. I just have a few questions for you. You know, it's part of the process. Could you please tell me about a time when you missed an obvious solution to a problem?
Oh, yes. Not that I failed this, but it was a test, an exam in college.
Yes.
I did pass the test, but I didn't do as well as I could have because I didn't study. So that was the obvious.
Okay. Okay. In your own words, how would you describe yourself?
Okay. I'm a determined person. I like to set my goals high, and I'll go to the length to get where I want to go. Dependable.
Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. How has your education prepared you for a career in medical building and coding?
It has helped me with communication skills. It's helped me become a stronger person, believe in myself.
Okay. Okay. Linda, when did you graduate high school?
Will that affect me being considered for this position?
No, I just have to know if you're over the age of 18.
I am.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. Why did you choose medical building and coding as your career?
Well, medical billing and coding, to me, the medical industry is going to always be here. People are always going to need doctor's care.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's why I went into that field.
Okay, that's very logical. Can you give me an example of a time when you tried to accomplish something and you failed?
Yes. Back in 2006, that's when I actually started going towards my career.
Okay.
And at that time, I was having to work at the same time. And I actually took on a little more than I should have. So I ended up having to drop some classes.
Okay. Well, I can understand that. Can you describe a time when you set your sights too high or too low?
Yes. Back in high school, I set my sights really too low. When I started high school, I wanted to run with the crowd. I didn't have my sights on doing my work, and I didn't do well, so I ended up having to go back an extra year. So
Okay.
that was my
Okay.
big mistake.
Well, what do you feel is your greatest weaknesses?
My greatest weakness is I don't like to hear someone say they can't do something.
Okay.
I believe you can do anything that you set your mind to do.
Okay.
You just gotta have to have that will to accomplish what you want.
Okay. Has there ever been a time when you had to go above and beyond the call of duty to get a job done? And if so, could you elaborate?
Yes. I worked in an injection molding plant,
Oh.
and I was a supervisor, and we had a priority schedule that we had to go by. Well, everything that was running at that time was hot. They all had to be running. We was shorthanded with people. So I told my lead operator I was going to start that machine and run that press myself so we would meet the deadline on that part.
Oh, I see. Well, goodness. Okay. Linda, do you smoke or use alcohol?
Has that been a problem with this company in the past?
No, it's just about. I'm just asking, are you able to comply with our company's substance abuse policies?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very well, very well. Can you give me an example of your typical way of dealing with a conflict?
Well, I try to stay focused on the problem or issue.
Yeah.
And then I just work my way through it and try to figure out how we can make it better, how we can make that conflict, solve that issue.
Okay. Can you tell me about a time you were able to successfully deal with another person, even when that individual may or not have personally liked you, or you didn't like him or her?
Yes, when I worked in the factory, the injection molding machine factory. I got the position as a supervisor. There was someone else that wanted that. I was the first woman to actually get the position as a supervisor in this factory. And that gentleman was kind of held a grudge toward me and gave me a little bit of problems with that. So I had to prove myself to him. And then once I started proving myself to him that I was capable of being a supervisor, he actually started coming around and working with me more.
Well, that's good. That's very good. Can you give me an example of a time where you had to make a split-second decision?
Yes. My child was 2 years old,
Yeah.
and we was visiting with his grandfather, and his grandfather gave him a piece of peppermint candy, and he had gotten choked on that.
Oh.
So I instantly grabbed him up and started doing the Heimlich maneuver.
Okay. That is a split-second decision if there ever was one. Okay. Could you, in your own words, describe what are the responsibilities of a medical coding and billing specialist?
The responsibilities of a medical billing and coding specialist is you take the physician's report of a patient, you read over it thoroughly, and then you need to diagnose his report.
Okay. What's your knowledge of the computer systems, such as Epic, Microsoft, MediaSoft, or any other programs that are relative to your position you're seeking?
Those are medical billing and coding software programs that you use to maintain or look back on a patient's records for insurance purposes.
What motivates you to work in the medical coding and billing field? What is your main motivation?
My main motivation is I love the human anatomy, learning about the human anatomy, and I love working with numbers, and that particular field gives me that opportunity to do both.
Oh, okay. I see. How do you deal with difficult or angry patients or other medical personnel?
You have to understand that the way things change in this world today, those people may not understand everything. So you've got to, kind of overlook that and be willing to explain to those folks how things are.
Okay. Describe your understanding of medical terminology.
Medical terminology is the combination of prefixes, root words, and suffixes pertaining to the doctor or physician's diagnosis of a patient's illness.
Okay, very good. Can you name the codes used to describe the diagnosis?
Yes, those codes are ICD-9 codes.
Oh, okay, very well. Thank you very much. Well, Linda, I want to thank you for coming in today and appreciate your time, and we will get back with you within the next week or so.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, well, thank you for showing up.